You won't believe this news. Gary Genser releases statements hinting towards his resignation. I'll share the exact details of what he had to say as 18 US states are suing the SEC over how they handled crypto, and XRP's breaking out on the charts as liquidity flows through the altcoin market. And the state of Pennsylvania has introduced a Bitcoin strategic reserve bill. This is huge. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a rating and review. Folks, let's start with Bitcoin because we are seeing a bit of a pullback. This is what we've been talking about on this podcast and channel for days now, that a healthy pullback would be necessary for Bitcoin to continue to $100,000 plus. It cannot keep going up in a parabolic move without cool downs along the way to build support levels. So we were expecting this, right, guys? If you've been following and listening to what I've been saying, if you've been reading my newsletter, then you would have been expecting this, guys. And I'm a bit relieved because I want to see higher prices. And in order to get there, we need that cool down and the building of support levels. So very good sign. And some catalysts that are going to help drive Bitcoin higher is the money printing. We on this podcast have been talking about the Fed moving from quantitative tightening towards quantitative easing. We talked about the rate pauses, the rate cuts, and then the eventual money printing. Look at what Fed Chair Jerome Powell had to say today. In the case of a financial stability event, the Fed can use emergency tools. Sven Hendrick, one of the biggest traders out there, he said, translated, this equals will print like hell again. They're going to continue to print money, guys. This is the fiat currency system we live in. And this is why we have to position ourselves in assets like crypto, stocks, real estate, and so forth. But as Paul Tudor Jones said, Bitcoin and crypto is the fastest horse in the race. Nothing moves like it. No other asset class gives you returns like this, guys, especially in a short period of time and in a very cyclical manner. Now, speaking of the Fed, look who is capitulating. Neil Kashkari, Mr. We can print unlimited money forever, whenever we want. Remember his famous 60 Minutes interview? Well, look at this. This guy has been a big time critic of crypto and Bitcoin. Senior Federal Reserve official who blasted Bitcoin now says he'll have an open mind. Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Kashkari, who previously called the crypto industry worthless and nonsense, still isn't an uber bull, though. So he's starting to slowly capitulate. They will all bend the knee. They will all get educated. But in my opinion, I think this guy knows what this is. He's not stupid. I think many of these folks know, but oftentimes they're positioning themselves with the big Wall Street folks, so they'll say negative things so that retail doesn't come in at the wrong time. Wall Street has to position itself. Then they change the narrative on retail. Retail comes in, retail buys from them, and Wall Street makes their fees and their money. That's why I believe Jamie Dimon for years was spreading FUD about Bitcoin and crypto. Even Larry Fink, right? Larry Fink back in 2018, Bitcoin's an index of money laundering. It's only used for bad stuff. Fast forward years later, they launch an ETF. Now he goes on TV, says it's the best thing ever. Right? That's the game. But if you understand this, folks, you are on the side of smart money. You are financially educated. You're not following the narrative for the herd. You are following the movements. You're watching what they do, not what they say. You're watching what the smart money does. So that's very important. Now, here's some very incredibly bullish news. And Dennis Porter of the Satoshi Act Fund is definitely behind this. Pennsylvania House introduces a bill to implement a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Folks, Bitcoin will be held by central banks. It may not happen this cycle. It may happen in future cycles, but in the event that it does happen this cycle, you know what that's going to do to the price. There will be FOMO worldwide if the United States is doing this. And these things have to make their way through the legislative process and all of that, right? But guys, the United States already owns over 200,000 Bitcoin, which they seized. What we could see happen is that they don't necessarily go out and buy. They just hold what they have. And maybe there's a plan to add Bitcoin over time, but it could start with simply let's just keep the Bitcoin we have, no more selling. And I think that will be very bullish. Now, check this out, guys. James Seyfert of Bloomberg is reporting that US spot Bitcoin ETFs now own an estimated 1.07 million Bitcoin. As a group, they're likely to pass Satoshi's estimated holdings of approximately 1.1 million Bitcoin in the next few days or weeks. Do you see what's happening, folks? This is so bullish, and BlackRock is seeing the lion's share of the inflows, and I think it's what are they, over $30 billion now? It's mind blowing, and this is blowing all the ETF records out of the water, all the TradFi ETFs, all the gold ETFs, and much more, guys. Incredibly bullish, right? This is the facts. This is the data. They're buying while the majority of the population is not paying attention. They still think Bitcoin and crypto is a scam. They're not financially educated. They haven't taken the time to read about this technology and see the application. But this is the tale as old as time, right? And this is why count yourself lucky if you are here early, positioning yourself, buying in the bear markets and so forth. You are on the side of smart money. Now, we got to talk XRP. XRP is ripping, currently over 82 cents. We've been tracking the breakout on the charts, right? I've been telling you guys in multiple live streams what's been going on. And as I've been telling you guys, the liquidity cycles through the market, right? Notice that Bitcoin cooled down, Ethereum cooled down, it pulled back, Solana cooled down, but XRP is running. Dogecoin cooled down as well. The point is liquidity flows through the markets. So I hope you're learning something here for those of you who are new, and that you have to be patient. These altcoins are waking up. I told you guys that the move we saw for Cardano pumping, Doge as well, we're going to see it for XRP, but we have to be patient. The liquidity cycles through the market. So I hope, guys, that is resonating and that you are paying attention to the charts and you're seeing and you're learning. And my goal is to help spread the knowledge that I've learned, guys. I had to go through this process and I want to share that knowledge so you guys can learn how to navigate the markets and how to make a great return on your investment. So very good sign. So XRP running has a lot of people very bullish. Now, here's what Crypto Wizard, great analyst, had to say. XRP about to fly. He asked, the fun has started. XRP broke above 65 cents as called. XRP is now teasing the last obstacle, 73 cents. Once it breaks above, there's no resistance to 90 cents. So looks like this thing's going to move to 90 cents. And remember, the bull market works in phases. So it'll move up to 90 cents. It will cool down, pull back, right? Build the support levels, just like Bitcoin's doing, just like Ethereum's doing, and then find the support and then keep moving up. But remember, phases. And remember, the liquidity cycles through the market. So you have to be patient. Just because you're seeing another token run doesn't mean your token's not going to run. It's just every dog has its day, so to speak, in this market. But very bullish. And a lot of people are waking up to this move. Dan Tapiero, macro investor. I've had him on the podcast a couple of times. He is invested in crypto. He's not some XRP army guy, but even he's recognizing. He says, could XRP go back to its highs now? This is a $40 billion asset today. Brad Garlinghouse plugged into DC and now Elon Musk mentions it. I've never understood the business deeply, but 40 billion is a big number and it survived despite everyone attacking it. Survivors have value, hashtag XRP. If you don't know who Dan Tapiero is, go research. This guy has been investing before crypto. He's a hedge fund guy, right? He's like Raoul Pal, Mike Novogratz, and Arrington, all these guys. And he has huge crypto funds. I'm talking huge, millions and millions of dollars and multiple funds. So this is no Joe Schmo random guy on the internet. This is a big time investor. Now, Crypto, Chris. We know this guy has multi-million-dollar trades. He shows it on his channel. I had him on last month talking about the markets. He just bought $2 million in XRP. He has an open trade. He does derivatives. He's not really a spot investor, but the fact that he's putting money into his derivatives trading, betting on the price of XRP going higher, that's a sign. Once again, he's not some XRP community, XRP army guy. So I say that because people may say, oh, you're biased, or these people are biased. They're not. They're investors looking to make money, and they read charts, not feelings or emotions, not religious fundamentalism, maxi nonsense garbage. They simply look at charts and look at how to make money. So I'm sharing this to highlight that the people who study charts and analysis are paying attention and they see something bullish on this chart. Now, guys, with XRP, we are seeing a lot of ETFs being filed for XRP and other altcoins. And here, the New York Stock Exchange ARCA files for a 19B-4 to uplist Bitwise's top 10 crypto index fund as an ETF. It currently has $1.3 billion in assets. What's included in that index? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Cardano, Avalanche or AVAX, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, and Polkadot and Uniswap. So this is very bullish. Grayscale is also doing the same thing. I had an interview. They had a research at Grayscale just about a week ago. Check out that interview. I'm interviewing Matt Hogan of Bitwise tomorrow. So I'll get you guys the details about their XRP specific spot ETF and this index fund. So guys, I hope you see what's happening here. The market is waking up to all coins are going to run this bull market. And even the naysayers who are saying XRP is dead, clearly, the institutional investors see the value. That is why Grayscale relaunched their XRP trust. That is why Canary Funds has filed for an XRP spot ETF. Now, don't get me wrong, they filed for other altcoins. This is why we diversify, right? So I hold Ethereum, I hold Solana, I hold Cardano, I hold Avalanche, I hold Chainlink. So I'm diversified. I believe these altcoins will run, and the best is yet to come in this bull market, folks. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is BitGo, which is one of the top tier crypto custodians in the crypto market. They're headed up by Mike Belshi, who's a Web 1.0 and 2.0 legend. BitGo has been through the bull and bear markets and much more. They have many different services, wallet services, and many big brands use BitGo, such as Bitstamp Exchange, SWE, the project SWE, Pantera Capital, that's Dan Moorhead, 21 shares. They are an ETF issuer, Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. So BitGo offers a variety of services, like I said, like wallet services, prime services, and a lot of different things. Folks, they have a self-hosted retail wallet that you can use, so you can check them out. And once again, very trusted, insurance, the highest level, great security, and much more. In fact, Nike uses BitGo's wallet services for their NFTs. So check out BitGo. Go to bitgo.com. All right, guys, let's talk scumbag regulator Gary Genser. We know he's out, and everybody's waiting for his resignation letter. Well, he kind of teased us a bit today. Here, Gary Genser released a statement today suggesting he may be leaving the SEC. So this is fascinating. And here, I'll read an excerpt of it. It's just part of his statement. Before I close, I want to say something about the SEC and its staff. It's a remarkable agency. The staff and the commission are deeply mission-driven, focused, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, it's been a great honor to serve with them, doing the people's work and ensuring that our capital markets remain the best in the world. And so he said some other things too, but people are like, wait a minute, this is a hint that it seems like he's out of here. Here, Mike Seelig says, SEC Chair Gary Genser suggests his departure from the agency may be imminent, in remarking today that it's been a great honor to serve. Whether Genser departs or not, President Trump will designate a new chair or acting chair on January 20th. Now, there was an error in reporting by Reuters highlighting that Jay Clayton may be the replacement for Gary Genser. And that had a lot of people upset, of course, but it was actually Jay Clayton is being picked for U.S. attorney at the SDNY. So he's being picked by Trump for that, not as a replacement for the SEC chair position. So look, Genser, I don't think he wants to go up against Trump and all the political fallout that's already happening with the Democrats. I think we're going to see his resignation letter very soon. And I think the markets are going to rip. It's going to rip, guys. Or it may have already started pricing that in. I don't know. But I think that there's going to be a lot of euphoria because we've seen people all across crypto, even Bitcoin maxis and stuff like that, they want Gensler out because you saw the fight he put up with Grayscale to block the Bitcoin ETFs. So they know, like he's gonna block everything because that's what he's being told to do. So his Wall Street buddies, his Goldman Sachs buddies can catch up, right? But guys, Gensler's out, and I think the markets are gonna go bonkers. And look at this, guys. Chris Giancarlo, who I've had on the podcast like 5 times, and I'm sure to have him on soon. He just destroyed Gary Genser on Twitter. Remember, he's the former CFTC chairman. He took over from Gary Genser. And remember, Gary Genser, when he was there at the CFTC, made a big mess. Go look at MF Global and all these things. Chris says, as for the reports that I'm in the mix to run the SEC, I've made it clear that I've already cleaned up earlier Gary Genser mess at the CFTC and don't want to have to do it again. DC rumors that I'm interested in some crypto role at the US Treasury are wrong. So Chris is saying, hey, I don't really want to be the SEC chair because his name was being thrown around and even at the US Treasury. But He clearly said that he doesn't want to clean up the mess Gary Gensler made again. Wow. Wow. This is from a former CFTC chairman. He's putting it out on Twitter. Guys, everybody hates Gensler. Genser is a scumbag. That's why I've been calling this guy a scumbag regulator for years, because I saw it. I saw the moves. He was not acting in good faith. He would just lie. And then you look at what he was saying before he got to the SEC. You can build Uber and Algorand. Ethereum and XRP and Ripple, they will need clarity from the SEC because the rules aren't clear. He was saying this at MIT. It's on video. Then he goes to the SEC, and what happens? He aligns with Elizabeth Warren and the TradFi incumbents with the agenda of kill these crypto startups so that we can catch up. Because I've often told you guys about the two things that are happening in parallel. On one hand, Coinbase, all these companies are getting lawsuits, Wells notices. Well, hey, BlackRock just shows up. Give me my ETF for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to tokenize on Ethereum, and then the rest of Wall Street followed, right? How can these two things be happening at the same time? Pretty clear as day, right? Wall Street, you're fine. You guys are fine. You're caught up. Come on in. Oh, these crypto startups, NFTs, stoner cats, I'm going to go after these guys and give them a lawsuit, right? Typical stuff. So this is the scumbag activity we've been dealing with. Now, guys, look at this. 18 US states have filed to sue the SEC and its commissioners, accusing them of unconstitutional overreach and unfair persecution of the crypto industry under the leadership of agency chief Gary Gensler. Wow, you got to be doing something wrong if 18 US states is suing you. This is an embarrassment. This is a stain. Look at where the SEC has fallen to, guys. And it's what I've been saying for years. They become rotten at their core. This is pathetic. So the lawsuit signed by 18 Republican attorney generals details how the agency has committed gross government overreach with its regulation by enforcement crusade against the $3 trillion industry, resulting in an infringement upon states' rights to regulate their economies. Wow. Genser got to get out of there, man. Because you see what's happening, right? The industry and different folks are going to pile on. They know Genser is in a weak spot because he's out and the political downfall. So he has no way to fight back. Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army is done. It's finished. Sherrod Brown is gone, right? So he and Elizabeth Warren are stuck on an island by themselves. How is he going to fight back? So a lot of people are going to pile on and they're going to start kicking him and all that, right? Figuratively now, not literally. I hope you guys understand. So he brought this on himself, though. He brought this on himself with his unlawful activities and more. Here, even Senator Bill Hagerty, who's a pro-crypto champion introducing various bills, retweeted this news saying, "It's unfortunate that it came to this point, but I'm glad to see states, including Tennessee, taking a stand against Gary Gensler's anti-crypto agenda." Gary, pack your bags, get out, man. Save yourself from further embarrassment. Just go hide. If I was Gary, I would be packing, running out the SEC, and I'll go on a vacation for a whole year, get out the country, go on an island somewhere. You know, Gary's a rich guy, right? So just get away. Go back under your rock, man, so no one hears or sees you, because the fallout is going to continue to follow you. If he tries to stay there, oh my gosh. Genser will be, I don't think he's that dumb, but he would be in for it. Here, Ripple Stewart Alderati weighed in. He said, Gary Gensler's institutional damage to the SEC runs deep. His legacy of undermining American innovation and failing to uphold the law is shameful, with 18 states suing to hold him accountable. I look forward to him becoming an unfortunate footnote in SEC history. Wow. So Gary's getting destroyed by politicians, former regulators, and many industry leaders, and well-deserved, right? Like I said, the guy's a scumbag regulator, but it's over for him. Crypto, it has a bright future here in the United States. We got the first pro-crypto president. We have a pro-crypto Congress, which I think is even more important than a pro-crypto president, because you need legislation to get through Congress. They make the laws, right? And it's hard to get bills through the Senate. So the fact that we have more pro-crypto people in the Senate and the House now is very bullish. And I think we're going to see stablecoin and market structure make it through the Senate and, of course, go to the president's desk. And it'll be an easy sign for Trump. So I am hugely bullish going into 2025. Expect things to get very euphoric. Remember, have a plan, know which price points you're taking profits at, because this thing can run fast, guys. You see XRP breaking out, you see what Bitcoin's doing. It will continue moving in phases. So remember, you have to control your emotions because it will seem like it won't stop, but have that plan, guys. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Guys, a great way you can support me is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's on Substack, 100% free, link in the description. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Guys, if you bought a copy already, leave a rating and review. Folks, get a couple copies for your friends and family for these holidays. Help them to learn about the market as the bull market continues. Don't let them get wrecked, right? This book covers advice on how to invest, what the hell happened with FTX and crypto's past, present, and future. So gives them the full picture of what's happening here. So check it out, guys. Link in the description. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your support, and I'll talk to you guys later.